What's up, YouTube? And today we're going to talk about why I love and I hate the 1 Series BMW. So I'm going to walk you guys through the entire build and what I love, hate, and what I want to do. So imagine this wider, obviously, M Series bumper, M Series fenders, flares, and then skirts on the side. I don't know if I'm going to paint it the same color. That's what I'm planning on, and then maybe wrapping it in the future. I just love the gray color, especially with the silver wheels. The hood is going to be a C-bond carbon hood. Don't know exactly which style I'm going to go with, but I don't want it to be too spicy, too, race car vibes, because I still like the convertible feel, and it's not a race car as much as I want it to be. So maybe we'll get a coupe and make it a track car. Don't know yet. Walking around the car, there's really not a whole lot wrong on the outside, other than like little nicks and things like that, until you get to the other side with the dents. But on the fenders, no big deal. The one by the door, I don't know if you can see it on the camera as well. There's a dent here and a dent there. That's not too great, but we can get that fixed when we do the body work. The bumper will be a M Series bumper, so we can fit quad exhaust, and it's just going to be it's going to be wide, and with how low it's going to be, because I'm planning on putting on bags, it's going to look great. Moving on into the interior, I have dyed all these. The door panels will match the back here in coral red with glacier aluminum trim. I painted the tunnel cover for you guys on YouTube. Everything else I haven't documented video wise. I have pictures I can kind of show you guys, like right here is where I took the interior out, and then when I dyed the back seats and stuff like that. When we put the racing seats in, I don't know what brand I'm going to go with. Bucket seats. I still want something to where I can lean them forward and actually use the back, but not sure yet. I'm thinking Brom seats. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because I don't really know. And this is OEM carpet. This came out of a wrecked 1 Series, so I did not dye the carpet. And if this starts to crack, we'll probably go find red interior or black interior or something from another 1 Series convertible and take it out and put OEM panels back in. This is something I wanted to try, and so after I've had this for 6 months or a year, I'll make another video on how well the color bond paint actually held up. Next, moving under the hood, we have that aluminum valve cover. I painted the coil caps, the strut bars, and the Valvetronic motor. I'm thinking about doing the ESS bolt-on supercharger kit. I said when we get to 5,000 subs, we'll do it. That is if we decide to do that with this build. Realistically, I want to, but I don't know how much it's going to change the sound of the naturally aspirated engine. I know with the anti-lag, it sounds absolutely crazy. There's a video. For copyright reasons, I can't put it on this video because it's someone else's, but if you guys ever come across it, it's definitely worth looking at. There's a lot I want to do under here. As you can tell from it being totaled, there's a lot of things missing as well, especially down here. The wiring is a mess. I fixed most of it to accommodate these headlights. We will get OEM 1M headlights, I think, or we'll get the BAV headlights. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with lights yet. That's kind of the least of my worries. But it's really not all that bad, and all of this can be fixed. Under the car, I wish I could show you guys, but I don't have a way to show you guys. The exhaust is broken, like I mentioned already. I got to get a straight pipe welded until we get the quad exhaust. Then we'll actually do something long term. I'm going to have to replace the tunnel cover heat shield, because that's kind of destroyed thanks to my catalytic converter blowing up. Yeah, not a whole lot to do under the car other than like skid plates and fix the plastic pieces under there from where they have kind of got destroyed and never completely fixed right, because whoever fixed this car fixed it to sell it, and that was about it. So what do I love and what do I hate? Well, one thing that I love is the fact that this car has perfect 50-50 weight distribution. The handling was great. The M52 is actually quite reliable for BMW's engines, a lot more reliable than the N54. And the 6-speed automatic is great for the convertible. It makes driving a lot easier and comfortable. If you're going on road trips, you're going to the beach or something like that. If I had a coupe, I'd definitely want a manual and make it a track car or something of that nature, but we're not there yet. And so if we ever get there, that's what we're going to get. Another thing I love about this car is just the sound of the N52. With it being naturally aspirated, you still have really good exhaust sounds, especially revs, things like that. It does burble, so you have that option, and it's actually toggleable by the AC button thanks to Chaos Calibrations. I can't wait to finish this interior so we can start working on other stuff on this car, and then maybe even get another project. But some things I do hate about this car is I don't feel like I'll ever perfect this car unless I tear it down to nuts and bolts, which I'm not going to do because money and the idea of it just doesn't make sense for me. I'd rather get, a stock clean titled car from like a grandma or something, and then, you know, make our OEM perfect mods to it. That way everything's done right, instead of me having to go back and fix everything whoever fixed this from when it was totaled did, because it's a mess. Another thing is, I don't want to be stuck on a 1 Series project forever. I love the 1 Series, but not everyone does, and you guys need content that y'all want to see. So, new project car coming in the future. So with maintenance, it's really not that bad. I mean, you have all your fluids on top, everything's easy to check, other than the fact that you have to actually leave the car running for 5 minutes to check your oil with the electronic dipstick, which really doesn't work half the time. I don't understand that one either. Another thing is oil changes. Oil changes really aren't that bad on this car, other than you have to pull the whole, you know, covers and everything off the bottom, which is like normal for every car, so that's not really a con. Oil change is going to range you between $50 to $70 if you do it yourself. I'm not sure how much other places are going to charge you. It depends on the location and, you know, who you take it to. Definitely put good oil in this thing. One thing I found, I've ran a lot of different types of oils. I've run Royal Purple, Mobil 1, Castrol, AMSOIL. Castrol Edge, the black high performance oil, has been the best with the flame tune, just because it doesn't burn up the oil as fast. 5W30. BMW changed their oil specs to OW20. I would still keep it to 530 because of the oil consumption in the higher mileage cars. If yours is not that high mileage, then you could probably switch over to OW20 like BMW recommends now, and you should be okay. Checking all your fluids are pretty simple, so there's no problems there. Apart from the car as a whole, there's really not a whole lot of cons. For me, I know a lot of people just doesn't like the way it looks. I actually like the way it looks. I don't think it's the most, I think it's more of a Euro style. I think it's like, because it's so small, I don't think people think it's practical. They don't like the way the front end looks. But I think with the M Series kit, I think it looks a lot more aggressive than it would stock. I don't really like the way it looks stock either, which is why we're obviously doing all these mods. And I'm excited. I really am. Cutting the rear quarters are gonna, you know, really make me kind of cringe, but that's what needs to be done, and I'm excited to do that. There's a lot of people that have done it already, so I can get some advice and body shops to help me out with that, because I'm not very keen on body work. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot too bad, other than what I've already discussed. The only other con would be the convertible top is a soft top, and with that, you can have complications. This has actually gotten broke one time on the other side, where it actually got pushed down and popped off, and that was almost a $980 dealership repair. I did not have to pay for it because I did not break it, but it's still very, very expensive to get these tops worked on. I think a new top, just the canvas without the mechanics and stuff, is about $5,000. This car actually came with a new top, which is why I said it was worth buying to begin with, because it had a new motor, pretty much. Well, it was a new used motor. It only has about 55,000 miles on it now. The car has about 165. The top was brand new. The front bumpers and everything were just fixed. The whole front end was fixed, and then it got wrecked again before I bought it. And it wasn't bad enough to, you know, other than it was just cosmetic, and I fixed all of that. And then over time, I got it up and running. It was my first car, so I kind of got it done as cheap as possible, which is kind of why we have all these issues now. Clear coat's peeling off the bumper. The hood never got primed correctly from when they repaired it the first time. So you have these chip spots, which is why we're writing our followers' names on here. And we are going to get that carbon hood, so it really doesn't matter. These are the stock wheels that came on it. And I've had these Pirellis on here since I bought the car, and they're almost 5 years old, so we're going to have to get some new tires here soon. But these Pirellis have super good tread. No alignment issues with this car as well, so the frame's completely straight. There's no rust, which also is kind of great in my opinion. I had these on the front. I actually had a guy run me off the road, and we cracked the front one, so had to put the stocks back on. I'm gonna try to get another one here soon, so we can put matching wheels back on, because I know that's one thing people want me to fix right away. As far as interior pieces go, I mean, I have dyed all the interior, so I can't really speak for it now, but the interior does like to, the plastic likes to peel off like this on everything. And you 3 Series guys definitely know that as well on the handles. You can kind of see it here too. That's just normal wear and tear. I mean, this car is what, 2011, so that makes it almost 13 years old. It is 13 years old. So that kind of stuff's to be expected, especially after it's set in the heat. The dash is completely nice. There's no cracking or nothing. I try to keep a dash mat on it and stuff like that. Took it off for the video in here recently. I haven't had it on. The mirrors are very small. I don't know if that would be a con, but yeah. So last but not least, one of the cons would be parts and times to get them, because it's hard to get parts for BMWs already. They're already expensive, but 1 Series, it just makes it a whole lot worse. However, BMW does consider this an entry-level car, so it's not a really bad car to start with. And if it's just you and maybe a buddy, you got plenty of room. But if you're fitting more people in here and they're over, I'd say 5'10", they're not gonna hardly fit in this back seat. They're really not. It's gonna be really hard, especially if you're taller too. And I'm not very tall, and I almost have the seat all the way back to drive, so it is a very small car. Obviously, like if you had a clutch, you'd probably slide up a little bit more to reach the clutch pedal and push it down all the way. But with it being an automatic, I just like sitting a little further back from the steering wheel. But parts are just expensive. Like this plastic piece that covers the back of the transmission tunnel cover, it's literally $114, and it comes from like Lusitania or I don't know what the place is called, somewhere in Europe. $114 for that little piece of plastic, and I can only find 4 of them in the world online for sale, other than going through the dealership. Which, if you want to go through the dealership, like anything else, you got to give them a VIN number. Well, if I'm going with black interior, I got to go find a VIN number for a black interior car so I can get the parts that I need, because if I give them my VIN number, then they're going to tell me they can't sell me that because it's not beige. So it is what it is, but that's just how it works. So that's the 1 Series. If you like this build and you want to follow it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell. Make sure you like this video so I can try to get this out to as many people as possible, because I'm going to need some support on this build, just by viewership and stuff like that. If anyone wants to sponsor this build, let me know, because that could help a lot too, because it could speed up the process. But we're definitely going to get started as soon as we can and get as much stuff as possible. A lot of photography content coming up as well. We're going to a big meet this weekend, so you guys should see that video Tuesday. If not, it will be Friday. Hopefully I'll have this up today, Friday at 6 p.m. like promised. Without further ado, guys, let's start this build. So I'll catch you guys in the next video.